Good evening and welcome to the show. The Riverside Township radio players anticipate that you will enjoy our new format this season. Each month, a fresh director will present his or her chosen programs for your enjoyment. Hello, my name is Andre Dixon, and this evening I will be your host. Tonight, to help you get ready for Halloween, the start of the holiday season, the radio players will recreate two popular old-time radio programs. We will begin with X-1, a popular half-hour science fiction series that aired from 1955 to 1958 on NBC radio stations. The program opened with announcer Fred Collins delivering the famous countdown, leading into the show's introduction. Countdown for blast-off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1 fire. Ray Bradbury, who passed away on June 5th, 2012, after a brilliant career spanning more than 70 years, wrote tonight's short story. In Marionettes Incorporated, Bradbury conjures a conflict between man and machine and depicts the human dependence on technology. Let me introduce the two main characters, Smith and Brayling. Both are men of middle age who find themselves trapped in their marriages. Brayling is married to a nervous and domineering wife, and his friend Smith is married to a wife who is madly in love with him and constantly demands his presence. Both of these men long for personal freedom and project these desires into going to Rio de Janeiro.
Countdown for blast-off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1. Fire! From the far horizons of the unknown comes transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents X-1. Tonight, a Ray Bradbury story, Marionettes Incorporated. By the year 1990, we should see many amazing technological advances, and yet in many ways life will be very much the same. A husband will stop off at a bar on his way home and perhaps unburden himself a little to a friendly bartender.
Ah, that's good. Almost feel as if I could go home and face Nettie now.
Wife trouble, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, wife trouble, Sam. If she'd only relax a little bit. Look, you see this bruise here on my lip? She kisses me for an hour every night when I come home.
Can you do anything for it?
Well, I try, Sam. You can't figure them out. Well, I guess I'll go home and feed myself to the lioness. I tell you, Sam, when Nettie gets finished demonstrating how much she's missed me, I feel like a man who's been stuffed in an electronic washing machine with the dial set at rinse dry. How much do I owe you?
Well, if it isn't Henry Smith.
Huh? Oh, Brayling. Well, as I live and breathe, Walter Brayling. What are you doing here?
Oh, having the night out?
Say, does Gloria know about this?
Things have changed, Henry.
I thought she kept you chained to the bedpost most of the time.
Not anymore, Henry. Not anymore.
Say, you aren't divorced, are you?
Oh, no. Gloria's home.
Well, what did you do? Put sleeping powder in her coffee?
Oh, goodness. No, that would be highly unethical.
Well, now look, I can't believe you just walked out on her.
10 years of marriage, Henry, and I never had a night to myself. But it will be different from now on. By the way, what time is it?
10 o'clock.
Well, I guess I'd better be going.
Scared?
I don't want to crowd my luck.
Oh?
Although really there's nothing to worry about.
Well, I'd sure like to know how you do it, Walter.
Would you really?
Yes, I would.
All right, Henry. Since you've always been a friend of mine, I'll let you in on it. Come on. My car's outside. I'll drive you home and let you see how it's done.
Well, that's nice of you, Walter.
Oh, no. Not at all. We fellas have to stick together. I don't suppose you know how Gloria and I came to be married in the first place.
No, I don't.
Well, one evening she threatened to tear her clothes off and call the police until I married her.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit extreme, isn't it?
Gloria's a nervous girl.
Oh, I bet you've had a pretty wretched time of it, huh?
Yeah. It didn't take me long to become the laughing stock of the neighborhood. Henpecked Brayling, they used to call me. I know that. But things are changing now. See this?
What's this?
A single ticket to Rio on the morning rocket. I have hotel reservations there for a month, a whole month, Henry, to have a fling.
Well, won't Gloria make trouble over that?
Well, that's the amazing part of it, Henry. She won't even know that I'm gone.
Huh?
I'll be back in a month, and no one the wiser. You don't believe me, do you?
Well, frankly, no. Just how are you going to swing it, Walter?
That's the secret, Henry. I tell you, it was the most wonderful thing ever invented, worth every cent I paid for it.
Well, what is it?
I'm going to show you. Now, here's my house. You notice the lights are all out?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Now, shh. Now we'll wait here on the front porch.
Say, Walter, you haven't gone off your rocker, have you?
Shh. Let me see now. I meow twice. Meow. Meow. Now watch the window in my bedroom.
It looks as if somebody... Hey, there's a man up there. He's looking out.
Good. He sees me. Now he'll be down directly.
Oh, well, now, look, isn't this a bit embarrassing for you, Walter?
No, not at all. You'll find out. Here he comes. Hello, B2.
Good evening, Mr. Brayling.
Either I'm going out of my mind, or there are two of you. You never told me you had a twin brother.
I don't.
Well, if this fella weren't in pajamas, I couldn't tell you apart.
Well, that's the secret, Henry. Everything go all right, B2?
Just fine, Mr. Brayling.
I suppose my wife was in her usual good form this evening?
Why, as a matter of fact, we spent the evening playing gin.
No screaming, shouting, accusations?
No, sir. No, it was a very quiet evening.
Well, this is even better than I thought.
Well, Marionettes Incorporated aims to satisfy, sir.
Did he say Marionettes Incorporated?
That's right, Henry. Now look him over. Isn't he excellently fashioned? You wouldn't dream he was a robot, a marionette.
No, I don't believe it.
Well, it's against the law, of course, to duplicate a human like this, but it's well worth the opportunity.
I still don't believe it. You can't tell him from a human.
Well, only one way. Put your ear next to his chest.
Huh?
That's it. Now listen.
Machinery. Walter, old man, how long has this been going on?
Well, I've had him a month. I keep him in a cellar in my toolbox. And tonight, I told Gloria that I'd like to be excused for 5 minutes to run down to the cigar store. She agreed. I went down to the cellar, took out Brayling 2, and sent him back upstairs to sit with my wife till I got home.
That's miraculous. Of course, Walter, it doesn't seem quite ethical somehow.
Oh, nonsense. It's highly ethical.
Huh?
Well, I've been home all evening. I shall be home with her for the next month. In the meantime, another gentleman named Walter Brayling will be in Rio, having the time of his life.
Well, can he walk around without fuel for a month?
Oh, he refuels himself.
Oh.
He's built to do everything. Eat, drink, sleep. You'll take good care of my wife, won't you, B2?
Well, your wife is rather nice. I've grown quite fond of her.
There you see.
Yeah. Walter, old man, how long has this Marionettes Incorporated outfit been in business?
Secretly for 2 years now. Why?
Well, I wonder, do you suppose there's a possibility I might get in touch with them?
You? Mm-hmm. But your Nettie is madly in love with you.
Well, I know that, but even so, just a little respite, you know, a night or two once a month, huh?
But she loves you dearly.
Oh, yes, so much she can't bear to leave me for half an hour. You know that lately she's taken to calling me up at work 10 or 12 times a day, talking baby talk.
Your Nettie?
My Nettie. So, now what do you say, old man, huh? As a favor to an old buddy, huh? A fellow lodge member?
Well, I could put you in touch with the man who makes them. Of course, you'd be pledged to secrecy once you learned where he's located.
Oh, well, naturally.
Very well, then. Here's his card.
Marionettes Incorporated, W. Zeig, owner. New humanoid plastic 1990 models guaranteed against wear. Our motto, no strings attached. Address, the Jumble Shop, 43 South Wesley Drive.
Mr. Zeig will take care of you. He's a charming fellow, a real craftsman.
Say, that's wonderful, Walter. I'll see him first thing tomorrow. Well, I better be getting home now. Nettie is probably splitting a gasket.
See you around, old man, after I get back from Rio. Oh, while I'm gone, you might drop in regularly, just as you always have. Treat Brayling, too, here as if he were me. Otherwise, Gloria might be suspicious.
Yes, fine. I'll do that. Before I go, these marionettes, they're safe, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Tell him, B2.
Oh, we're guaranteed.
Uh-huh. Well, that's fine. Well, good night, Walter, and good night, B2.
Good night, Mr. Smith.
Good night, Henry. Well, I'm glad someone else will have a chance at a little happiness and freedom. All right, Brayling 2, it's back into the cellar box for you. Come on, down the step. That's it.
It's very damp down here, Mr. Brayling.
Bad plumbing. Here we are.
Brayling,
Yeah?
before you put me back into the toolbox, could we have a word?
Certainly, old man.
Now, this toolbox...
Yeah, what about it?
Well, I don't like it, Mr. Brayling.
Why not?
It's cramped.
Oh, well, I'll try to fix up something more comfortable when I get back from Rio. Right now, before Gloria gets worried, back into
Now,
the...
marionettes are made to move, not keep still. How would you like to lie in a stuffy old box most of the time?
Oh, I didn't realize you fellows were that sensitive.
Well, you wouldn't like it at all. I keep running. There's no way to shut me off. I have my feelings, you know.
Well, day after tomorrow, I'll be off to Rio, and you won't have to stay in the box for a whole month. You can move upstairs.
But when you come back from Rio, I'll go back in the box.
Mr. Zeig didn't tell me at Marionettes Incorporated that it was possible to get a difficult specimen.
Oh, well, there's a lot he doesn't know about us.
Look here, B2. This has gone far enough.
I'll never get to Rio.
Oh, come on now, into the box.
And another thing,
Well,
your wife.
yeah, what about my wife?
I've grown quite fond of her.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoy your employment. You have the whole month.
I'm afraid you don't quite understand, Brayling. I've fallen in love with her.
Yes, well, all right. You what?
Well, you see, you just don't appreciate her. Maybe if you hadn't acted so meek and apologetic about everything, well, she'd have a little more respect for you as a man.
You aren't supposed to behave like this, you know.
I think I could be very happy if I were married to Gloria.
Aren't you forgetting that you're nothing but a big overgrown puppet?
Now, careful, Brayling. I'm sensitive.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, you wouldn't mind waiting here a moment, would you? I have to go upstairs and make a phone call.
To whom?
Nobody important. I have to call Henry Smith about
You're
something.
lying. You're going to call Marionettes Incorporated and tell Mr. Zeig to come and get me.
No, really, I'm not. I was just B2. Stay away.
Just stand where you are, Brayling.
No, B2, take your hand off my arm.
No, Brayling.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing much. I'm just going to put you in the toolbox, lock it, and lose the key. Then I'll buy another ticket to Rio, and Gloria and I can have a wonderful vacation.
You're insane.
Oh ho, am I?
No, wait a minute. Hold on, B2. Don't be rash now. Let's talk this over.
Goodbye, Brayling.
No, B2, stop it. Don't let go. Oh, let
Into
go.
the box,
Oh,
Brayling. There.
Let me out. Let me out.
Walter? Walter?
Yes, Gloria?
Well, what in the world are you doing down there at this time of night?
Why, nothing, lover. The pipes were knocking, and I'm just making sure the boiler hasn't exploded. Now, you go to bed, and I'll be up soon.
Hurry, won't you? We had such a nice evening. I'm lonesome for you.
Well, you won't ever be lonesome again, darling. Never again.
Morning, Nettie.
Good morning, darling. How are you? Have a nice time last night? I missed you so.
Is breakfast ready?
Well, aren't you going to kiss me good morning?
Huh? Oh, yes, I suppose so.
You're so wonderful, Henry. I guess I'm the luckiest person in the world. Now here's your coffee. How would you like your eggs?
Oh, any way at all.
But I want to please you.
Look, let's just skip the eggs this morning.
But you have to eat to keep well, darling.
I'm very healthy. I have an early business appointment this morning.
Oh?
Yes, it's a friend of Walter Brayling's. I met Walter last night.
Oh.
Yes, therefore, I'd better be off. Well, now, Nettie, don't look as if I were on my way to Rio or something.
Well, it's just that I miss you so. I want to be with you all the time.
Oh, dear, do I have to go through this every morning? I'll be back at supper.
Oh.
Now, there's no need to cry now, is there?
No, darling. You aren't as pleased with me, are you? I try so hard to do everything just as I think you like it.
I know. No, I'm not displeased. Now, goodbye, dear.
Henry,
Yes.
you forgot to kiss me goodbye.
No strings attached, no strings attached. A very nice puppet with no strings attached. Let's see now. Jumble Shop, 43 South Wesley. That should be about. Here it is.
Yes?
Mr. Zeig,
Yes?
Walter Brayling recommended me.
Enter.
Thank you.
Your name?
Henry Smith, 55 Evergreen Place.
And what can we do for you, Mr. Smith?
Well, Mr. Brayling showed me his marionette last night, and well, I was intrigued with the idea. Not that my wife is anything like that female meat grinder he's married to, you understand, but, well, I'm a man who enjoys an occasional evening with the boys. You know what without complications?
Naturally.
Yeah, so I thought...
That I could duplicate you.
Exactly.
Oh, I think that might be arranged.
Oh, yes. How much?
$9,000.
9,000.
Oh, I have an inferior model at 7,500, but...
Oh, no. If I go through with this, nothing is too good for Nettie. Nettie's my wife. We've been putting money aside to buy a summer home in Westport, but...
Well, sometimes we must choose.
Yes. Well, perhaps I could just slip out 9,000. It's a joint account. How soon could I have it?
Oh, I could construct the mannequin in about 2 months' time.
Oh, good.
Shall I consider the order placed?
At once.
Of course, you will have to report here for a body mold. Color index, your hair, lips, skin, etc. And I'll have to do a complete electron emotional calibration.
Now, you guarantee that these models are foolproof?
As foolproof as I could make them, Mr. Smith, and I have had years of training.
And there's no chance of detection?
None whatever. I've never had a complaint.
Very well, Mr. Zeig. I'll get the money from the bank and send it to you.
I am sure you won't be sorry, Mr. Smith. You will be just as satisfied as Walter Brayling.
Teller,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
I'd like to cash this draft on my joint account, please.
Yes, sir. $9,000, sir?
That's right.
Oh, I'm afraid that's impossible, Mr. Smith.
Impossible? Why, my wife and I have a good $15,000 in our account.
You're mistaken, Mr. Smith.
Well, I know we have.
Here's your card, sir. You see? Mrs. Smith withdrew $10,000 recently.
$10,000? Without even telling me?
I remember it distinctly, Mr. Smith. She said it was for a surprise for you.
Oh, good Lord. She bought that house in Connecticut. My birthday is next week. Oh, no. I've got to borrow it somewhere. I've already contracted with
Yes, sir. Quite a surprise for you, Mr. Smith?
Yes? Oh, hello, Henry.
Hello, Gloria. Is Walter home? I'd like to speak to him.
Well, he went down to the travel bureau. We're going to Rio, you know. He should be back soon. Will you wait?
Yes, I'd better.
Oh, say, Henry, as long as you're here, maybe you could help me with something.
What?
Well, I went downstairs to get an old suitcase a little while ago, and I heard the strangest noises near that old tool chest of Walter's. Now, he mentioned the boiler was acting up, and, well, I'm afraid to go down there again. I wonder if you'd have a look.
Oh, what kind of noises?
It's like a thumping sound.
Well, maybe I'd better go down, Gloria. You stay up here.
Should I call a plumber, do you think?
No. I'll take care of it.
Well, it's right down those stairs.
All right, I'll have a look. Good Lord. Hello? Hello in there?
What? Let me out! Let me out!
Shh! Just a minute. Keep quiet, for goodness sake.
Let me out!
I'll have to smash the lock. Now, What in the world? What?
Henry, oh, thank God you're come.
Well, what's the meaning of...
I've been in here all night. I thought I'd suffocate. He tried to kill me. He tried to murder me.
Who? Which one are you?
Don't be an idiot. I'm Walter.
Well, what happened?
A B2, the marionette. He stuffed me in the toolbox and left me to suffocate.
What?
Fortunately, I found an old file in here and managed to get an air hole through the wood.
Good Lord. He's taking Gloria with him to Rio.
Have they left yet?
No, he's gone downtown for the tickets.
Good. We may have time.
For what?
Oh, to get down to Marionettes Incorporated and tell Mr. Zeig to stop him.
But you're no condition to...
Don't worry about me. We can't waste any time. Now, come on.
Yes, but what about Gloria?
I'll sneak out. Tell her that you fixed the plumbing. Tell her anything. I'll meet you outside.
All right.
What a fool I've been.
Oh, what a fool I almost was. I went down and ordered one of those things today.
Gloria? Gloria, love?
Yes, darling. Did you get the tickets to Rio?
Ah, right here in my wallet. Honeymoon for two under the pampas moon.
Oh, Walter, it's so nice having you like this.
Oh? You like the change?
Well, I don't know what did it, but whatever it is, I'm in favor of it. I hope it's permanent.
Well, I intend to see that it is. By the way, darling, do you happen to remember where that old pistol of mine is?
Pistol?
Yeah, I just thought since we're going to be traveling in strange countries, it wouldn't hurt to bring it along.
Well, I think it's here in the sideboard. Oh, there. You know how frightened I am of these things.
Well, I'll be very careful of it. In fact, I think I'll go down to the basement and practice. Not really shooting it, of course, just to make sure it's in good working order.
Well, now, do be careful, darling.
Oh, I will. If you should hear a shot, now, don't be frightened. I may fire it into a block of wood just to test it. Perhaps I'll fire it into that old tool chest of mine. That should absorb it.
Oh, speaking of that old tool chest.
Now, what about it?
Well, it reminds me that Henry Smith was here.
Oh?
Yes, and I heard some noises downstairs, and he went to fix the plumbing.
Oh? Is he still down there?
No, he left, and I really don't understand it. He seemed so anxious to see you before he went down to the cellar, and then he just left.
Did he stop the noises?
Well, he must have. I don't hear them.
I see.
What is it, dear?
Well, I have to go out for a while, darling.
But, Walter, we have to pack if we're leaving.
I'll be back soon. There's something very important I have to attend to.
What is it?
Well, just some personal business with Henry Smith. Now, please excuse me, darling, and don't worry. When I get back, everything will be fixed once and for all. Then we can enjoy the rest of our lives just as though the old Walter Brayling never existed.
Oh, Mr. Brayling and Mr. Smith. Come in, gentlemen. Come in. What brings you?
Mr. Zeig, you told me your marionettes were foolproof.
They are. My personal guarantee goes with each one of them.
We know all about your personal guarantee, except that Mr. Brayling's dummy knocked him out, stuffed him in the toolbox to suffocate, and is making plans to run away with his wife.
Oh, dear.
Yes? Well, Mr. Zeig?
Well, I really don't know what to say, gentlemen.
What Mr. Brayling and myself would like to know, Mr. Zeig, is exactly what are you planning to do to stop this overambitious robot?
Well, of course, we shall have to recover B2 first, and then I'll simply dismantle him.
He doesn't want to seem to be dismantled, Mr. Zeig. I think that you'll have trouble catching him.
Maybe I can save you the trouble, gentlemen.
B2.
Look out. He's got a gun.
I thought I'd find you here when I discovered the tool chest empty.
Now, you look here, B2. Whatever you're planning, you won't get away with it.
Oh, I think I will.
Mr. Zeig, can't you do something?
I'm afraid I can't think of anything.
I'll save you the trouble because I'm going to kill the three of you.
No, now you won't get away with it.
No? You forget that Gloria and I will be on a plane to Rio in a few hours. All right, Mr. Zeig. You first.
No, see here, this isn't fair. I created you. I can't. You stop.
Grab him!
I've got him.
Quick, the hammer!
Look out!
Well, that's the end of Brailing 2.
But he got Zeilig, though.
Yeah.
Right through the... Holy jumping catfish, Henry.
What's the matter, huh?
Look at him. Look at Zeig.
It's nothing but a mass of coils and springs, just like Brailing 2. Why, he's nothing but a marionette. He's no different from Brailing. Do you know what this means?
Oh, this is incredible.
A marionette building other marionettes?
But someone must have built Mr. Zeig originally. I wonder...
Perhaps Mr. Zeig turned on whoever built him the same way Brailing 2 turned on you.
Well, at any rate, we'll never know.
No. Say, I wonder how many of these things are walking around among us.
Oh, I shudder to think of that.
You know, some of our best friends might be one of these.
Oh, no.
Come on, we have to get out of here.
But the police...
Now, don't be a fool, Brailing. There's no crime committed here. All the police will find is 2 oversized puppets with springs coming out of them.
And they seem so lifelike.
Yes, I know. And they were only machinery. Now, you've got to remember that.
Yeah, what'll I tell Gloria?
Well, if I were you, Brailing, I wouldn't tell Gloria a thing. I'd simply pick up that other ticket to Rio and take her on a honeymoon just as she's expecting.
What about you, though, Henry? What are you going to do?
Me? Well, I'm going home and give Nettie a kiss that'll singe her hair. You know, when I think of what might have happened if I'd gone through with this marionette thing, well, it makes a fellow realize how lucky he is to be married to a decent woman. Come on, let's go. Nettie! Nettie! Where are you, sweetheart?
In here, darling.
Oh, I've missed you today. Come here.
Oh, Henry. Oh, you look tired, darling. Can I do something for you? Just tell me, I'm yours to command.
Oh, a man's a fool to jeopardize a nice home and a loving wife like you. Oh, you do love me, don't you, Nettie?
Oh, you know I do. Here, let me get your slippers on.
Oh, it feels good to sit back on the sofa and relax. You don't know what a trying day I've had.
Oh, I can see you're all upset. It isn't anything I've done, is it, dearest?
Oh, no. Well, in a way, something you've done is connected with it, yes.
What's that, darling?
The money.
Money?
Now, I know you wanted to surprise me with the house, darling, but you really shouldn't have taken the money out of our bank without consulting me.
Henry, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Now, Nettie.
But I don't.
Nettie.
Oh, you're so upset, darling. If it's anything important, let's talk about it later. Meanwhile, why don't you just put your head on my shoulder and rest?
Well, I must admit that sounds enticing.
Here, let me make you comfortable. There, now you just close your eyes. That's it.
Nettie,
Yes, darling?
do you hear something?
No, darling.
Are you sure?
Like what?
Like the ticking of a clock?
No.
Strange. I don't hear it now, but when I had my ear against your chest... Oh, no. Oh, no. She couldn't have done that to me. Not Nettie.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about... No, I won't believe it. You're my Nettie, aren't you? You're real live flesh and blood. But I hear it, and it's coming from you. It's coming from you.
I hope you enjoyed our production. Tonight's cast for Marionettes Incorporated included the disconsolate, depressed, and overwhelmed Henry Smith was played by Walt Kovalek. The deceitful, scheming, conniving husband, Walter Brayling, who started it all, was played by Roger Morris. The lonely, sensitive, yet menacing marionette Brayling II was played by Jay Summerfield. Walter Brayling's persistent and dominating wife, Gloria, was played by Donna Amesmeyer. Henry Smith's affectionate, exhausting, and demanding wife, Nettie, was played by Ellie Babka. The very understanding and accommodating bartender was played by Marty McNutley. The mysterious and eccentric Mr. Zeig was played by Dave Sanchi. And the know-it-all bank teller was played by Nellie Brennan. As always, our special effects have been successfully presented by Marty McNutley. And your marvelously outstanding announcer, I didn't write this, for this program has been yours truly, Dave Sanchi. Now I'll turn the mic over to Andre Dixon.